Yo, welcome back. This is That Native J with That Native Gaming, and you know what we're doing. Playing some Zombie Cure Lab. So I talked a little bit at the end of the episode about what I needed to do to fix the issues that we're having. So far, what I have discovered um, during my little escapade, what I'm thinking is happening with these guys mainly is revolving around their threshold. And by threshold, I mean how often do they get triggered to do a refill? So I'm thinking what's happening here is because the numbers are set so high, they're not wanting to shoot or fire because we're stuck at 225. So they fire very, very small amounts and then have to go and get a refill. I'm thinking if I just set the number around 100 to 150 ish, right? That they'll get triggered to get refilled, but I won't have any of these guys running off to do it or just doing anything besides defending. So I think that right there is the goat move. That it must have just went over my head. I must not remember that's what I was doing. So, yeah. So tonight, I think everything should just go exactly as planned without issue as long as we have everything set how we're supposed to, right? So let's try to change these thresholds and see. Maybe they'll spend their time firing and not be so concerned about refills. And then these people won't be doing refills, any of the scientists. So hopefully they'll just rely on the haulers, which looks like we have plenty here, right? And yeah, I'm hoping for the best there. So also now that our gates are a little closer, I feel like that'll help. Um, Getting in this higher level flooring is only metal and stone, so we're just gonna go ahead and um, put some of that in and upgrade this for the night. And I think that'll greatly benefit some of this movement around the base too, which will probably move a lot of this stuff around and do something different once we get the front defenses actually done up. For now, I don't think it would hurt to build another kitchen that's a little smaller. I don't know. I feel pretty confident that we can make this work, actually. If we just, yeah, keep working on metal here. But a kitchen is like one of our next major buildings I'm thinking about because I'm like, man, that kitchen's kind of getting outdated. So let's go straight into production, and we have the furnace or the smeltery one. So let's get the smelters down, um, and then maybe consider upgrading these guys just so they're more useful. And it doesn't seem too expensive, so we're just gonna go ahead and get some of these guys leveled up. We might not be able to do them all, but we'll do that for now. And then I want to have a little metal for night so we could at least repair our walls, right? And these are all shut off. I feel like these guys could work a little harder, but if they were closer, it wouldn't be as challenging for them to be able to keep those full. That's okay. We'll solve that with this guy right here. He's a data simulator. It pretty much like these can actually be more effective because if you put level 3 Humvees on them, they give it a boost. But these don't require workers, so it's very efficient for your base. That's kind of why I like that. A lot of this stuff we don't even have level 2 like everything. in needs and food, but we'll definitely start thinking about it after we get our smelters done. So all 3 or 4 of these should just get fully removed. We don't necessarily need the furnaces now. Oh, actually, scratch that. Let's at least get the other ones put down first. So I'll do like this one smeltery because we know we can afford it, right, for tonight. And then we'll put the 2 guys over here. It would probably help if they had power as well, but that's just my opinion. Looks like our grid is green instead of yellow now too, so I don't know how that happened, but it's green now. I thought it was a yellow grid. Maybe you can change it. Maybe I accidentally changed it, like when I knocked one grid out and then knocked another one back in. So a good majority of those are leveled up too now, which is nice. And I don't think we're going to be able to push our luck onto another smeltery, which is actually producing a lot more than I thought it was going to. We guessed like what, 7 or so? I think I said 7.5. 12 is a lot better. He's more than 2 of these, it looks like, at once. Or he is like 2 of these at once. So I could literally replace these 4 with 2 and have more workers. But I might even put a 3rd one down just to increase flow that much more. The metal's going to be pretty much like the number one. It's territories. See, I got another word I got to go. But it's pretty much like the most important thing we have going on right now. We need just a lot of the metal. It probably wouldn't hurt to let those guys go out and work too. So I'm like 99.9% sure we fixed our problem with why we're not defending. But I tell you what, we're about to find out if these guys have an effect or what's going on with these. So, yeah, tune in to see if these guys are affecting us and what we can do here. But I'm assuming it's a threshold problem. That's what I was assuming. So we're gonna have to see if these guys have an effect on us or not. If that is the case, I'm gonna have to just like keep reloading the game till I get lucky enough that they spawn out of the map or whatever. Which, no, looks like that's not the case. So we have effectively fixed our defense system, which in return, I'm going to make that assumption in my mind that we'll turn that up a little bit. I'm just going to make the assumption that we're perfectly safe now, right? Boom. That's a pretty good output. They're frozen extremely fast. I don't think they can do much damage to the metal walls. We're just going to kind of relax now and start bringing in more population and utilizing this higher tier equipment that we have. So the only reason I'm bringing in some more of these guys is mainly because I want to be able to, whatchamacallit, I want to be able to support a higher production area. And maybe just get a couple more in because we got like higher level hauling posts right now and stuff, right? So let's get all these to 9. Get these leveled up. Get all those to 9 and then max out all this too. Just so we have maximum like intake. Another thing we're doing right is transitioning all of this lower level stuff into higher level stuff. And hopefully that'll work out just fine even though it's hiding in the rock there. I'll probably leave the ones up that I can for now. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm considering doing a whole 4 stack right here. Because it actually looks like a cool little spot to put like some smelteries and then do like the chemical extractors through here or something. And just leave like little spaces between them. Like this one looks like it could even be scooted over one, right? Not that I think it matters much. But it may give us some room to walk right here, perhaps. And I could delete that wall now probably. That wall's pretty obsolete. These being low level walls though, I don't think it would hurt to just start leveling up any materials that we can up into metal. I like to concentrate on this first wall usually first, so 108 metal is not even enough. Or, I mean, we don't even have enough. Oh, we do now, alright. So there's frozens, some of them should get in pretty easily. We're doing 3 at a time, so we should at least, you know, get like a couple times each, like 6 to 9 out of it, so that'll help us fill in some of our stuff. And I assume that also will make our levels go up, right? So they may hit a little harder and stuff, but I think we're pretty good till at least 40 damage. And probably somewhere up into like 40,000 freeze. So for now, we are expanding our operations. And I guess the floating zombies are not going to mess with us. So, most likely what was happening is the people were triggered waiting for a refill when they didn't need to be. So that could happen, right, at times like this. He could start shooting first thing, and then they're going to trigger a refill. Well, hopefully he'll sit here and use up the rest of the ammo while someone brings him ammo. I think that's the mechanic that we're looking for, right? The mechanical fix. So we're probably going to just chill, relax, build. This next episode or 2 will be really relaxed. Not having attacks makes things, like literally, if they gave you more breaks in the attack waves, even on the harder difficulties, I think certain things like tearing up trigger a little break. That way it can reset how hard it's going to hit you. But what I've noticed is you got to be careful battling against this, and you got to be willing to consistently fight no matter what situation you're in. Like, I could probably make some big money moves right now because I have a couple free days, right? But I'm so confident in this defense that if I just keep it up for a little while longer and finish, like, maybe sectioning off the rest of the base a little bit, that's going to be more beneficial for me in the long run. Like, even just putting in some fences like this that are running around here, and start dreaming about how this is going to come across like that, right? That could probably tease them a little bit or trick their minds. They'll be like, what is this guy doing, right? Start building in little sections here and there that I can. With the 2 days free, I wouldn't be surprised if I can get the majority of this next section done and even get defenses up behind it. So that's something we can kind of concentrate on in between building more production. Some of the production here doesn't even need to be like built. It just needs to be upgraded. So that's kind of why it doesn't matter too much. So like, for example, I could come in here and I could just get the chemical extractor 2 and then upgrade it. What we're going to do is we're going to go into like the meat cultivator, the cooking pot, and the grill. That's kind of what I want. I'm probably not going to produce any superfood yet. You can produce superfood in tier 3. I think I'm going to wait till tier 4. Oh, and there goes my first big electronics. That's costing me electronics to do those. and we have okay meat intake, so I'm hoping just upgrading one will at least keep us going for now, and we won't be dropping meat off so much. If we do, we could always put down a grilled meat thing, so some of the Humvee ones can start eating grilled meat as well, so we can make that transition from raw meat and grilled meat just to grilled meat. We'll see how that goes though. After these get upgraded, that should hold us off. We are getting a little more people too, though, so we have to consistently grow now. The biggest holdback that I'm visually seeing right now is just electronics. So if we go down to science and we get one of these going, even just one would be nice. I'm kind of dreaming about putting two down. Chemicals, metal, turn into electronics. So if we need to, we'll upgrade our chemical extractor. We have a plus coming in consistently, and we're still on one tier one. Oh no, we have two tier ones, so we could make a big increase with that. Honestly, it seems like everything pretty much doubles each tier, just about like the usage, the usefulness of each thing. Yeah, this I'm pretty confident we can finish a couple layers for defense to be put in here. Oh, whoops. I want to try to keep these lines exactly how I want them. So, let's see here. I'm kind of just chilling. I don't feel like a need to rush anything or do anything specific yet. So, I want to say this is considered, even though it's like in the science lab, I want to say it's considered a production building. So I want to put these guys in here. But we'll see, like clicking on it, we'll see if it's getting like a bonus and stuff. But I imagine because it's like they're assembling it, it's production as opposed to like actually doing research or turning Humvees, curing Humvees. But I actually don't know, so that's something we'll figure out. I'm thinking after a couple game loads. Oh no, those floating zombies are gone now. Right? Oh nope, here's one right here. Danny. So I can't see the other one, but I know it's in here somewhere. I thought it was at least. So maybe that one's gone. The one that was higher up. Maybe they, as you load it, they slowly like level, keep going up, or disappear or something. I don't know. Oh, so that's as many level ones as we're gonna get for tonight until we get attacked again. And maybe getting a new freezer up is kind of something we can think about. I'm not really worried about it, as long as these guys don't freaking randomly defrost in the base or something either, because that's also something, right? See, oh look, let's set him down so he defrosts. Like, okay, why, right? You definitely want someone to be holding him because then he can't defrost. Um, that's probably gonna be it for that. We'll turn the automation off, but we'll just like hit 3 just to have some. All these automations are getting turned off as well. And yeah, let's just concentrate on kind of getting the secondary layout, whatever we're going to end up doing here, done. So I'm thinking in order to just make it really hard for the zombies if they decide to do anything besides what I want them to do, We're going to create a couple layers right here, right? Like this is just going to be a box that makes it hard for them. And then this right here will probably be like their next route that they have to take. Some kind of like open box theme where they're coming through these different sections each time along this gate. And I'll even probably move the gate up slowly, right? So they're pretty much fighting right on this by the time it's all said and done. These gates will be put in back here so that we could access the base from behind all the defenses still. Some of these walls might get took out, like I'll take out 2 of them or something eventually once we get the whole setup here done. But essentially if I just build boxes like this, we'll be trapping the zombies in these weird setups like this, right? Leaving gaps in between so as things break we can walk in here and repair, right? But just continue this double box idea that I got going on, right? This could even be a full empty box itself, right? These are just boxes to keep them going the way we want them to go. And it's towards the main storage, so it's going to encourage them pretty decently to be like, okay, that's the way we should just go, guys. This is going to be a triple layer to super, maybe even a quadruple layer, just to really encourage them not to use this as the entrance instead, right? But essentially these gates are service gates. They just allow the workers to get into these areas, and we'll put more defenses along here and along here once all of our once the dolls have finished placing walls. And that's pretty much what the whole next episode's probably going to be as well, is us building like a awesome defense area that we could really use. Right, come in here to something we haven't utilized yet, but is pretty good stuff. These little guys, right? So they don't fit in here perfectly because of how we designed it, but if you want to, you could come back and make that design work for yourself. I don't really care, so I'm not going to do it, but the road here too probably wouldn't hurt to throw something in like that, right? But that could accommodate, or that could help us with this weird space that we're having here. But I don't know, we'll see. I do want a decent road though, through most of it, right? Or through all of it, I should say. That way when we get out here to repair, we have something to walk on to make it a little more efficient. Especially the very last one, the most powerful road or whatever you could make, it makes a big difference. So I'll just go ahead and go like this with the freeze traps. We'll kind of do them like that for now. I don't know if they need to be powered or if they just get powered by being stepped on. I think they're powered by stepped on. Whoever steps on them just gets hit by them. If you're within this whole little area. If anybody steps on the square, it'll activate that whole area. I think that's how it's working here. So I'm just going to kind of go like this. Yeah. And maybe we'll come back through and do something, right, where we start filling in more of them. But we'll just do this for now to help slow them from wanting to hit our gates and whatnot. I believe by creating this weird corner element, it'll force the zombies into being like, dang it, we're having a hard time hitting this wall, because they, like, more of them can't stand right here, like how some can stand right here and hit it. So they might end up hitting that wall just like at it, like frustration. Or out of the fact that the AI can't get to where it actually wants to. It'll just pick another random spot to do it. So I have to be careful when designing these triple layers if there's not a way in, right? So like this is no longer going to have a way into this triple layer. So the only way to repair this middle layer is by making a way into that middle layer. I'm not going to do that because if I build a gate into that middle layer, all it's going to do is encourage the zombies to go to that gate. These gates are already probably going to confuse them enough and make them think about wanting to go to that. So I'm going to wait on that, of course, because that's the only way we can get in that middle layer. Essentially, the middle layer is just a slowdown, and it's going to be hard for people to repair if they're in that middle layer. But the reality is they can't get to that middle layer unless you can get to that middle layer. So your guys will come in, and they can repair right in front of their faces if you're using level 1 Humvees. So essentially, it doesn't hurt to build your base like that, though you are going to feel a difference, right? Metal, yet again, holding us back, right? We got a lot coming in at a time, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to mellow out a little bit on placing things, and we're going to see how well this actually gets finished, right? We're coming up on the end of the episode. I'll probably end it tonight. We'll see how far we get before this night starts, and we will talk about how the defenses are going to come in and be implemented behind here, right? But I need to see how we're going to get our power over there without disrupting our defense line, because I don't want to put them in there, right? Because then one guy might have to go all the way over here to repair, vice versa. I don't know. I feel like it'll slow down the idea that I can walk in any gate and go anywhere down the lane and repair any wall. That's very helpful when being attacked, I feel like. So we're going to try to do something like that. How can we bring this power over here without giving up the integrity of our front defense system? So these secondary defense systems are actually going to be considered like back defenses, right? These guys are somewhat obsolete. So I'm going to try to put them, or not obsolete, somewhat the front line, or they are the front line. And then this is the real defense. You know, if they make it that far, we'll have even more blowing on them all the way up to here. But this is the compact defenses that we're going to keep for a minute until we can really make sure that our front and center is just eating everybody up to the point all we have to do is tier up and stuff and keep up with the leveling. So after looking at this and seeing how wide it is, I think we can get away with a 4th layer. And so anytime you think you can fit stuff where you want it and still get what you want out of it, I recommend getting more layers. Having more layers to your base just buys you that much more time, especially if you start to fall behind or you make a slip up like I have, where you're like, oh, I thought I was going to be able to defend against that much damage. Whoopsie. I could even consider putting in a couple more, to be honest, because look how wide that is, man. So that's kind of where we're at, is we need to wait on metal because we just ate tons of it up, hundreds of it. The only way to get any back fast would be to delete this inner wall. I just don't think it's worth it. We'll do that later. Probably by the time we do it, we won't be in need of metal, but it is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and just speed this along. The episode's starting to get slightly lengthy, so I just, I don't like them to be too long. I don't want too much to go on in one video. This will literally be a defense build video. It's setting up to where we can pretty much take the whole map over and not have to worry about being bullied ever by any of the other Humvees. Gonna go ahead and increase those workflows. Actually, we're gonna bring this guy back down to 5 until these guys get full. The next attack that comes in, we should be just fine. We'll literally obliterate them, is what I'm assuming, especially if all this stuff gets done. And we're able to start getting some of these guys, the blizzard contraptions out here. That's going to be great. All of the defenses are going to end up being taken over by level 3 Humvees. So that's also something that's going to be coming to mind, right, as we start to bring these level 3 defenses in, or these level 2 contraptions. but level tier 3 defense system, I should say. As we get the tier 3 defense system set up, we definitely are going to want to start replacing the scientists. Plus, we don't have enough scientists. We're going to want to place the scientists with more Humvees. And oh my god, we don't have enough scientists, I just said. We should be able to buy more. I don't know why it's not letting us. Um, it may be kind of like glitched. So what we'll do is we'll just like send us a helicopter. Oh, and there we go. It's fixed. And then we don't have to send him away. We'll be like, nah, we lied. Come here, grab nothing. Just that way we could jig our scientists back up, right? But yeah, we'll replace all our scientists that are working hard over here doing this stuff with level 3 Humvees that do extra damage. And then all of our scientists can kind of transition into full-time lab work. And that's what they could be doing. Or like guard stations is a good one too. So we have people not satisfying their hunger, and more than just a few, right? So what it is we don't have enough slots for them to sit down and eat at a time. So there could be multiple things doing that. You either have too many people, or you don't have enough, like high enough tier food, because people have to eat more often with lower tier food. It doesn't look like they're making good effort. Oh, so he is still floating here. There we go. It doesn't look like any of them are making good effort to go get food, and that number is increasing like extremely sporadically, like way too fast for what it should be. So the only way I can personally think to solve this like fast is just throw in another kitchen. So in this kitchen, it looks like all we're having a problem with is places for people to eat. So let's just go ahead and make a room for people to eat in, right? And we will throw a couple more of these down in hopes that let's just get let's get our level 2 Humvees to start munching down on that, right? Or our level 1 Humvees to start munching down on meat, grilled meat. So many, 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 many of the level 1 workers are about to get angry if we don't get this done. So what we're gonna do, right? And it sucks. It's a bad taste in my mouth. Oh, you know what? We could probably prioritize it. I was gonna say we have to stop this, but I think if we just prioritize this and they start pumping it out, we should be fine. So we hit the big 42. That's another thing. Um, yeah. So we're coming up on the end of this episode. It looks like some of the people were satisfying their hunger just fine. So maybe I'm being melodramatic, but that number's too shifty for me. I don't like it. Um, so yeah, we're just gonna build ourselves a wood shack real quick. Everybody could at least eat out of. Um, Having so many people is probably the problem we're having here, and then still letting ones eat out of the one. They only do 30% of their hunger at a time. So having these twos that allow them to do 60% hunger at a time is probably going to make a big difference for us. We don't want anyone crashing out. Um, Even just a simple crash out could cause some problems here. I don't really have any guard stations, but now that we're such going back and forth with all these issues, I want to put a couple more down again. At least one down in each section of our main build here. So, but with all these going in, we should have no problem now, right? Meat's going to be brought in. Way more people are going to be able to trigger into this at once. See, so they're immediately getting fed better than they were before. So I'm hoping that'll balance out. Um, that's really the only thing that it looks like we're having trouble with. A lot of our leveled up beds are riding out just fine. So we'll just go ahead and do some of this back work, and then the episode will end there. The next episode will be very similar to this episode, except for we're just going to take in a little more population again. So things are going to start ramping, getting harder as we go into this next tier. But I'm pretty confident that, ooh, that's pretty expensive there. I'm pretty confident that things are just going to get better and better from here. It's going to things are really gonna just start looking up, and we're gonna be able to start supporting those higher populations that we really want to. Um, I don't see much of a reason for us to take in too many more Humvees. The resource camps, they're kind of coming to their aged end. Um, this did cost us a lot of stone. That's pretty much where all our stone went. But we're just going to delete this base completely out. Um, or not delete it, sorry. Let's try not to delete stuff because it's kind of a waste for these higher level tiers to be deleted. We'll leave him open, but we do want him to get some stone now. And honestly, it probably wouldn't hurt to bring him where he could get stone, like down here, right? And them kind of concentrate more on just stone and wood, which there isn't much wood here for them to work on. This could also just be shut down so that our hauling stations in here are more efficient, which are the ones that they technically do count more for us. We're going to need another hauling station out here in order to sufficiently supply any defenses with ice. So that's probably where a lot of our next level 1 Humvees are actually going to be working, is we want to build them a hauling post, right? And let them work on that. So we're going to end the episode here. We're not going to finish this upper area for defense. We're just working on it. It's not going to get done, though. I almost guarantee you by the next night. Let alone, even if it's built, it's really not going to do anything for us. Right? Because we don't really have much defenses behind it. I'm going to leave the freeze traps out there, and I'm going to make them have to break through the gates. So I really want to see how they're encouraged to do what I want them to do, even if there's no coolers, no freezing machines. So tune back in. I'm probably going to just go take a break and then jump right into the next episode. We're going to keep tiering. We really want this section of the base to be secure heavily. That way we can start building stuff out here and utilizing parts of the world we haven't gotten to use yet. So tune back in next time, and yeah, we'll see how mega we can get the lab.